Hello everyone, let's talk a little bit about the Siemens S7-1200 PLC. Just kidding. What I want to show you today is the new Siemens S7-1200 G2 PLC. So this is the generation 2 PLC. This is the generation 1 of the S7-1200 series PLC. What I have here is the brand new 1214 FC. F stands for failsafe, so it's a safety version of the PLC. Let's go ahead and open the box. It is much slimmer. So here's a 1215 and a 1214. As you can see, it's almost like 2 inches narrower. It does seem a little bit more deeper, so the height or the depth is a little more, and the overall size, it's like 1 inch more, maybe 3/4 inch. But wow, it is so nice compact with the same amount of processing power. Actually, this is a much faster CPU. It also has 2 Ethernet ports, just like here there are 2 Ethernet ports. They are on the bottom. These ones are on the top. Let's open the flaps. Ooh, so now we have push-in terminals versus before we had the screw terminals. So it's by default the push-in terminals, and this should come out. So there. Oh yeah. So we could just wire our panels, get all the terminals ready, and no tools needed, no screwdriver needed, and I can just pop back in. Nice. So looks like the inputs are on the top, the 2 Profinet ports are on the top. Here's the slot for an SD card, so it just slides in, you can put it in. SD card slot on this one was also on the top. The power supply is now on the bottom, and then the outputs are also on the bottom. Same, I believe it is, that's 14 inputs and 10 outputs, so it's the same amount of IO. This has 14 and 10. This does come with the older 1200 G1 on the 1215 version. Did have 2 analog inputs and outputs, so that is missing. But the really cool thing now is it has this little symbol icon, you can see NFC, so you can just bring your phone, just bring it up with an app, and you can get advanced diagnostics directly on your app, on your phone. Another thing is that I personally like is there were the signal modules, so you could remove this on the older Gen 1 PLC 2 and snap in an IO card if you need like 1 or 2 IO or analog inputs or outputs or 5-volt signals for encoders. You can just put in an IO card here. What's really nice about this one, if you notice, there are 2 slots for it. So that means we can now have 2 IO cards instead of 1. So that's an additional feature, which is pretty nice. So for example, the reason we got the safety PLC is if you're doing just like one safety relay, e-stop, input, and an output, you could just easily take this, get one safety IO card once it's released, pop it in, and now this becomes your safety controller and a regular controller all in one, and you don't need an additional safety relay. It's the standard in-rail mount. Ooh, also I got another IO card for it. So let's go ahead and open the IO card. This is 8 in, 8 out. So it's a combo card for 8 channel input, 8 channel output. So that's there. And it's got the little terminals, so that means this will snap in directly right there. Let me go ahead and pop this little cover out. So that's the little plastic piece that's protecting these connectors from any dust or anything else. And all I would need to do is just line it up, just snap it in. So here, now I have my PLC and an additional 8 channel input output card. There's no connections on the flaps, just some drawings for what each pins are. All the wiring is on the top and the bottom. So the same connectors here. So if I want to open the terminals, there we go. I got the connectors out. If I'm using crimped wires with ferrules, I believe I can just push it in without a tool, but we'll try it. And there goes the connector back. So yeah, so if I see this system compared to the size of this, now I have an additional 8-channel input and an output card and the same amount of I/O, and it is still like maybe half an inch narrower than the older 1200 series 1215 PLC. That is pretty cool. I'm excited to test it out. Thank you.